Our live chat is rolling already, Mensch. You know the first comment I saw from Stu Stow?
What's that?
More Mensch.
Yes, let's go. He gets it.
So take it away.
I just saw a great comment in there, and I forget who said it. And I feel terrible that I don't remember the name. Okay. No preseason polls. No polls until week 8. We don't know enough. No polls until week 8.
Sure, but like,
never gonna happen. I love it, but never gonna happen.
But to that person's point, and good job not remembering their name.
I know. Great.
Do you know how about this?
Most polished guy in the business.
How about my little nugget to start things out? Preseason, number 1, Texas. Number 2, Penn State. Number 4, Clemson. Combined 8-7 after 6 weeks.
I mean, wild.
8-7.
Wild.
And go and look at the teams they've beat too.
Right.
Welcome in.
How you doing?
It's week 6. Listen, we said 11 o'clock. We kind of changed what we were going to do because the game wasn't close. It was like 28-3 at one point. It's gotten a little bit closer. We're in commercial break now on ABC. We got Herbie, we got Fowler, we got Holly Rowe getting run over by players on the sideline.
Wow.
We've got Michael Irvin, the playmaker, not protecting her.
Getting called out on national TV for not protecting her.
I know. And so we're still keeping an eye on it, right?
Right.
Did you see that the onside kick?
Oh,
I mean, Castellanos is Tommy Castellanos, Florida State quarterback, is playing really well this quarter after the offense was shut down, and we'll get to all of this game. We'll recap the whole game, and we'll recap all of week 6. So we appreciate you being here. But they almost got they cut it to 9 points with like 3:50 or so remaining, and they almost got the onside kick.
So close.
Bounced off the Miami player, kind of, fumbling around on the ground, and a Miami player eventually got it. So, but then they go 3 and out, and Miami, I think it was 3, or maybe it wasn't 3. Yeah, I think it was 3 and out. And Miami decides to go for it throw the ball on second down, so Florida State doesn't have to kill one of its timeouts, and so now Florida State has the ball back, right? So it's a long shot. We need
too little, too late.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes. I think the 2-minute timeout just came up. We need a touchdown. What did I get? A cold today? I sound like I have a cold. We get a touchdown, and then you need an onside kick, and then I guess a field goal from there, but or vice versa. But we're keeping an eye on that. We had Mississippi State, Texas A&M was another one of the prime time window. Didn't pan out to be much of a game. We'll talk a little bit about that game as well. Marcel Reed. It's interesting, man. Marcel Reed, for all the great, and I think this is like Mike Elko's second year at A&M. I think this is a much more complete team than it was a year ago. Obviously, Reed had the off season, right? Because last year, remember that LSU game? Remember it like it was yesterday. Nussmeier had the meltdown. But he was inserted in that job. But Conor Wegman, who we saw the transfer to Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so we saw Marcel Reed kind of inserted in that job, but now he gets a full off season. So he's playing better this year, but I think that he's gonna. I'll get to more of it later, but I think his decision-making, decisiveness, lack thereof, and the penalties, man. They're like 125th in the FBS coming into this week in penalties. They had a kick return for a touchdown called back.
Mm-hmm.
And so Miami didn't get Florida State didn't stop them. I was running into the suit.
Oh, no, they got an offsides. My bad. They had an offsides.
Oh, so this,
yeah,
it's 4th and 8 now. All right. I was running in here. We were logging in and all of that. People in the chat were screaming at us.
Yeah, it was always trade back who had the no polls until week 8, by the way. Always trade back.
Oh, okay. Always trade back. Gotcha.
Yeah. I have thoughts on that A&M team, man. I love that A&M team.
Sixers. Stu Style wants to know how many Sixers I've been through today. Are those beers?
I think
6
so.
ounces? Yeah,
Yeah,
0.
there's 6 packs. I don't know.
Yeah, haven't had a drink in 25 months, Stu Style.
We're also getting old. That we don't know what people are talking about.
Right, right. So anyway, I mean, general feel on this game. What jumps out to you? And we'll do a full recap when we reset in a minute. But
The physicality of Miami. They are the bully in the room, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able in college football to stand up to this bully. They are physical in everything that they do. Their defense is physical, which is obviously a big deal. Their offensive line is physical. I think even the way they run after the catch is physical. And then you add a seasoned quarterback who, I mean, with some weapons, it feels like Miami's back. I thought Florida State was going to make this a game, and it's getting close at the end, but it really has never been a game. It hasn't. I mean, Miami's been in control. I also thought Heatherman was really interesting early on. Heatherman, do you see that Heatherman brought 5 and Castellanos got around it and kind of scrambled? I was like, dude, what are we doing? And
yeah,
right
I thought we were
yeah,
a 4-man rush team.
right back to the zone, right back to the simulated pressures and what they do best. And good for him for adjusting right away. I thought he won the battle against Malzahn going away.
Oh,
and he has more. He has more dudes. He has more at his disposal, I think. But still, I thought he won that battle going away.
So we just saw here, Castellanos just took off running. I mean, this is a number 3 team versus a number 18 team in the country. Florida State had a clear letdown game against Virginia Tech, against Louisville. Once again, found a way to win. They're 5-1 on the year, 3-0 in ACC play for the first time under Tony Elliott, right? First time in a while, I think they've probably been 3-0 in ACC play, but I don't know the exact amount of time. But for Miami to come out and dominate this way has been impressive. Now, Castellanos takes off running, slides, and then gets hit late, I think was the flag, right?
Yeah.
No, it's second down. No, there we go. They shifted.
Yeah, they're calling it now.
First down. Okay, so they're in their own 41-yard line. Yeah, I mean, it's just, and here's the thing, and it's been interesting because Florida State is actually, they've had a flurry of yards and points here in the fourth quarter. Malzahn's offense with Castellanos, a quarterback, is not built for this, right?
No.
This is not a team they need to run. They need the misdirection. They need to use all the gadgets to be balanced. They need the quarterback to be a part of the run game. And so when you're dropping back to pass, this is not what, and honestly, let's be truthful. The yards and some of the points here in the fourth quarter are a byproduct of Miami purposely backing off and saying, good luck driving the field. We'll give you 7-10 yards.
We're not going to let you beat us over the top. Right now, he's got 43 pass attempts. That is not where you want to be. No, I said they wanted to get to 50 carries. They're at 38, and Castellanos has got 16 of them. I mean, it just has not been the game plan that they wanted.
No, and so I do encourage everyone. Just pulling up the. I encourage everyone as we go throughout the night. Keep the comments coming. We'll keep an eye on it as we go through. Trying to get everything set up because here we go. Yeah, just looking at this box score.
Always trade back, man. It's got some good comments tonight. Castellanos is the kind of quarterback that can win you a big upset, but can't win you a natty. And I think that's probably true right now. He's not consistent enough. The 2 interceptions tonight were, the 2 interceptions. Oh, Deuce getting loose.
That's your guy. 11 targets tonight. I think that was his 7th catch, nearing in on 100.
Yep.
He's intriguing as a prospect.
Yep.
Is he a senior or junior?
He is not a senior. I know that. I know he's got at least 1 year. He's listed as a junior. I know he had 1 more year at least.
Okay.
Great baseball player. I don't know if you knew that. Could have gone pro in
Really?
baseball. Yeah. 6'6" outfielder like Aaron Judge. So now they kick the field goal. Interesting. Okay.
Down by 6. What was the spread in this sucker?
Down
4.5.
not, oh, they hit it. You might be ahead of me.
Yeah,
Ooh,
they hit it.
that
So
was late.
28-22. Yeah. You know what's interesting? This opened up at 7, I believe, on FanDuel.
Of course it did.
And all the money was flooding in on Florida State early, and they knocked it down to 4.5. It got down to 4. I was reading something maybe yesterday. Got down to 4, and then they bumped it, and then a lot of the money came flooding in on Miami and bumped it up to 4.5 and kind of locked in there. How good are these people? How good are the folks at FanDuel and everywhere else that set these lines and adjust them? Because their original line was right on point, 7.
It's magic to me. I have no idea how they do it. It's
but then if you guys are going
to
flood the market one way financially with
right.
all the money backing, then yeah, we'll move it. But like we stake our claim, like our data, our analytics say this is a 7-point game, and look at it, sitting at 6 points right now with 20 seconds left.
It's wild.
So here we go, onside kick. They don't get this, then we'll reset and we'll start this show. And we'll have a blast for a couple hours, right? Because it's what we do on Saturday nights. It's the best part of our job.
True.
And if they, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
They got it.
I love our polls. I just can't do the "you is back" thing. I think if that's Dan doing it, I think he's messing with me.
Why can't you do that?
I don't do the Texas is back. The "you is back." Like, but you know what?
Dan, I'm here for it.
The "you" is as close to back as I've seen.
Yeah.
Wow. This team's really good. So I'm going to click yes. The "you's back. 80%.
There you go.
Did you see on game day this morning where they were eating from?
No, I saw is that why you reposted that?
Chuck's Fish. We did a whole thing on one of the OG shows back in like October, November last year. We did it for the one in Athens. They've branched out all over.
Yeah,
the
the
South.
one in Mobile was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
And they've got the 5, which is in Tuscaloosa. But yeah, so I put that out, and then Chris Eddings sent me a text like 5 minutes before we went on.
Did you see Fred Warner? Did you see the end of the 49ers Jaguars game last week where Fred Warner jumped over the line?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really like that, but if quarterbacks are going to hold the ball like Jacksonville was doing and then do the slow kneel, I think that's fair game. I was wondering if they were going to do it here. I was wondering if someone was going to try to jump over and punch it out. Oh, a little spicy at the end.
Yeah, it was. Listen, we got a lot to get to. It was a wild day.
It was a wild day. The afternoon,
football.
The 3:30 frame.
The 3:30s were supposed to be an appetizer to the main treat, to the main course. The main course turned out to be a little bit of a dud, let's be honest. So what I do know is, Mensch, there's just 203 days till the NFL draft, so no time like the present. 201 days. I got it wrong. Who cares? When we get to that one starts, when it's 100 and something, that's when I get scared. Mensch, you still good at 201 days?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. Mensch is good. I'm good. Let's roll that damn thing, Tucker. Evan Hawley gets the show. He beat me to it. He said, Tucker, run it. He knows. All right, we're doing it. By the way, anyone who's not a subscriber to the McShay Report, Google it. It's the McShay Report. Subscribe, please. We appreciate I personally, that's like my passion project, my baby. We've got some exciting news we're going to announce in the next couple of weeks about what we're doing here. All right? My main man, Mensch, and I are getting things buttoned up the way I want to. So we're going to share some exciting news in the next couple of weeks. But for right now, this is my little baby project. I adore it. My main man, Dan, has helped me, and Conor as well. along the way and every step of the way. And so we're starting the first of Sunday mornings, your inbox. Get up in the morning, whether you're dealing with a hangover, whether you're excited for life, whether you're getting ready to go to church, whether you're getting ready to go hike, and whatever it is you do on a Sunday morning, we're going to have kind of a recap with some prospects rising, some different things, kind of the top takeaways. So that'll be in your inbox, and then we'll have our weekly newsletter come out in the middle of the week. With something, usually we've been doing like a deep dive into something. Last week it was Ruben Bain Jr. and Carson Beck. I typically on that one like to take the time to dive deep into tape and kind of fill you in on where we are in our process. So that's the little plug there. The McShay Report, Google it and subscribe if you can, please. This chat keeps getting bigger every week, and we appreciate everyone that's here. From Evan Holly to where's our main man tonight? Where's our angry guy?
Yeah, Haas, Brian Haas, right? Is that his name?
Yeah. I'm looking for Haas to see. Was Haas not here?
He might not be here.
Hey, somebody call Haas.
Somebody check on him.
Check on a welfare check. All right, we had a big day today, but I've decided like my favorite thing to do in my favorite show is the Saturday night show when we do the best things that we saw today, and we've got some cool stuff today. And it's become kind of like this fun thing on our group chat all throughout the day. And people are sending in, everyone that on our staff that's part of this family here, we send in stuff that you got to basically make the cut to get it in because we get so many good things every day, social media or stuff we're seeing on TV. So Tucker, I assume we're good to start on this stuff. And I think you and I can actually watch it. And if there's audio, we can actually hear it this time because we're advancing.
Yes.
Essentially, we're going to become like a network television show, but it's just going to be our little show.
Tucker's advancing. I don't know if we are, but.
Well, Tucker's advancing. and his fiance, Peyton, by the way, was a tutor at UCLA for all those athletes. And I've got a little story about her.
Oh, no way.
To UCLA. She's got some Neuheisel, a little Neuheisel nugget for us. But as I'm being informed that she was a tutor for some of the athletes at UCLA, I was thinking to myself, man, she is downgraded. She's tutoring Tucker in all sorts of ways.
I don't feel that way.
In all sorts of ways, I'm sure that man needs some tutoring. All right, let's start out. The best thing we saw all day, we've got a few of them here today. Let's start off with Cincinnati running back.
Is that not targeting on the offense, though? Not there. That was not there.
And I won't mention his name because it's not fair to him and his family. And speaking of family, my brother-in-law, Jeff Lewis. It was a big day for the Lewis McShay family. Oh, look there.
Look at that.
That's a text I got from Jeff.
They made it tight at the end, man.
My wonderful sister, Megan McShay, now Megan Lewis. And he's a fan of the show, a friend of the show, I should say. He's not a fan. Yeah. He's a friend of the show. He's certainly not a fan of mine sometimes. But I get this text. He's on the field with his daughter, who's my niece. Ella and Addie are my wonderful, beautiful nieces out in Cincinnati, where my family moved while we were in college at Richmond. They were outside of Mason, Ohio, and now they've moved to all different parts of the area. But he's on the field with Addie, right? And he gets this clip. And the thing he texts me is Muench. And you want to know why, folks? Because this was Muench's FanDuel pick of the week. So that's one of the best things I saw all week was Jeff Lewis with my niece on the field at Cincinnati at Nippert Stadium. We'll get back to Nippert Stadium and some of the history later. But a really cool win for Cincinnati in that program. And I also want to talk that they've got some.
Is Cincinnati back?
They got some dudes on that team.
No, they are
some NFL scouts. There's some guys who are going.
There are some guys. I just know you don't like the back thing, so I want to get on your case about it.
No, I know. I understand that. All right, next up, this one was interesting, and it was hysterical at the time, but it's one of those freezing cold takes, if you will. Our main man Pavia did something pregame. I mean, it's hysterical if you win.
It's great if you win. It kind of looks like Russell Wilson running the simulated games with no one else around him when that happens, though.
And we got to realize too, there are some people who are just driving in their car or taking a walk or a jog who are just listening to this and we appreciate everyone who's watching truly and listening. On YouTube, you're watching live right now with all of
They
us.
found Haas. Haas is back.
Haas! There he is.
Right away with the fire, James Franklin, by the way.
For those of you, and it just dawned on me because I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff, and I shouldn't be hosting, but it's just kind of how we're doing it, and it's going okay so far. The jackhammer that we talked about was Tawee Walker just absolutely running over a defender in the Iowa State game.
Right.
And then what we showed next was Pavia, the quarterback for Vanderbilt, pregame. No one's on the field. They're warming up. Everyone's running routes, warming their arm ups. He's taking a snap from his center and practicing
victory formation.
The victory formation, kneel down. And then when he's done with that, he's practicing throwing the ball up in the air to celebrate. That takes some, but listen.
In Tuscaloosa.
College life is full of regrets. That's one of them.
Very true.
Okay. Next up, this guy's just a player who's been rising from week one of the season. He used
Your
to
guy.
play.
You've been on him early.
I've been on Michael Trigg. That's only by 3 points. They're battling a Kansas State team that's like things are falling apart, but they're trying to rectify their season. And Michael Trigg is making 2 catches that are highlight reels. Man, he is an athletic dude. Really?
How big do you think those hands are? You see
10 and 1/8 inch. I just got a close up of it. All right, moving on. But Michael Trigg is a player in this tight end class. You know, we talk about Sadiq at Oregon is tight end 1. He's rising. And remember,
there's some good ones.
And no, I know. And he's one of the guys that's kind of bolstering that tight end group. He caught passes for Jackson Dart.
Crazy.
Back at
Where?
USC.
At USC. Right.
Jackson Dart with his first start and win for the New York Giants.
I was wondering how long that was going to take you to work that in.
All coming back full circle, man. This next one was the funniest moment of the day. When I saw this, you sent this to us, right?
Yeah. If this is the right one, yeah.
Clemson making moves.
TCU I went to that game, and that was one of the saddest feelings I've had in university so far, and I've failed midterms before, so that's saying something.
Jeez, that's a UNC student who was just randomly. Sometimes they send producers out like during the week. Typically, like the talent they call it, like the on-air people will come in like Thursday night. They'll have a dinner and then meetings all day Friday. But a lot of times the production group will come in maybe Wednesday night if they're trying to do something specific, or at least Thursday morning, and they'll walk around campus. They'll take shots. I forget the name of them, but they're shot.
B-roll or
it's B-roll, right? But there's a specific name for like the ones around campus and all that. But and then they'll do some interviews or whatever. There's always something they're trying to get to.
Scenics.
So scenics. And so they walk around and then they ask this poor girl, just a random student. They probably asked 20.
Poor girl. That girl's a cold-blooded killer, man.
Cold-blooded killer. And she just looks so innocent. And then she starts talking. And then the way she says university, almost like maybe like a European, like, you know what I mean? At university, you only say that if you're from if you're not from the United States, usually from like Europe somewhere. And then on top of it, like that's what it was. It was the juxtaposition of like, I don't even know if she was born in this country because the universe, since being at university, that to me is like, she's from Europe, right? She grew up in like London or something, but so mad about how disgusting that first game in the Bill Belichick era was and how disappointing that it was worse than her failing her midterms. Run that back again, Tucker. Now that
Clemson making moves.
TCU I went to that game, and that was one of the saddest feelings I've had in university so far, and I've failed midterms before, so that's saying something.
You're right, man. She is a cold-blooded killer. All right,
She
last
knows-
one.
She
Go
knows
ahead.
that athletic report came out this week and everyone's piling on Bill. She's like, yeah, I'm getting in on this.
All right, last one. Jerry Neuheisel. He looks like a surfer that they ripped off of Manhattan Beach. And honestly, at first, just watching him on the sideline, a couple clips, I didn't realize it was Rick's son. Rick's a bud.
Really? He looks.
I mean,
he looks exactly like him.
No, I know, but it was like a side angle with the hair. It was like over the top,
Okay.
and I just saw like his hair, and I saw the head. I didn't see his face. It was like over the, and they were talking about, and he was calling plays in clearly, and I'm like, who is that? And then they came around, and yes, I realized. But I'm saying, like, when you look at him, it's like he looks like he's 24 years old.
Oh,
they ripped him out of the
yes.
surf shop, and meanwhile, he is absolutely shredding this really good Penn State defense with an offense that has been really bad.
Right.
And I want you to watch this clip.
And then a splash and a ride for the play caller, who I soon think will be considered the offensive coordinator. And his dad's reaction, you might ask? Get him down! Get him down! Yeah!
I mean,
Yeah.
I
He broke down crying later on, like a little
I-
emotional at the end. Yeah.
I clicked over to see because I saw him start to talk. I'm like, I got to hear this.
Yeah. It was
And
cool.
he was like voice cracking, tears, like holding it back, talking about his wife at the game. Oh, I've goosebumps, like chill bumps all over me right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome way to start. Let's get into it.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to start?
Let's start. I mean, let's.
People are dying to hear your Penn State take. I saw someone say McShay's Penn State take tonight is going to be generational. So no
Let's
pressure.
just go to it. Let's just go to it. And we'll come back to Miami, Florida State, and we'll come back to the rest of the games. Why don't you take me through what you saw in this game on the field?
Well, I'll tell you this. I was back and forth, and I didn't see much of the first half because I was watching other games. And I texted my buddy, Chris Richter, who went to Penn State, is the most level-headed Penn State fan I know. He's just a reasonable human being about all of it. And he was losing his mind. He was just talking about how the defense couldn't stop anyone. That Aller's feet are a mess. He was upset. My understanding of what I saw over the course of the game was Penn State couldn't stop Nico from running. I mean, he had 16 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. The onside kick at the beginning of the game was a brilliant move to maybe this Penn State team's tired. Maybe they're coming off that loss last week. Maybe they're not awake. You get yourself an extra possession. UCLA pulled all the right strings. But I will say this. This is what I will say, looking back on what I did see in the stats and all of that. Penn State didn't lose today because of Drew Aller. Penn State lost today because of their defense, and that's concerning. This UCLA team couldn't score against anyone, and they're putting up 42 on the Nittany Lions today. And you can say whatever about coming off last week. You can say whatever you want about travel. Guess what? Everyone else has to do the same things, man. That is bad to give up 42 points today.
It's beyond bad, Steve.
Here's the generational take.
No, it's not I did enough with Feinbaum this week. I'm not here to become that show. Okay. But I do want to say this is a defense that had given up 11, 0, 6, and 30, but to arguably the best quarterback in the country. And that included overtime. So
Right.
that was double overtime.
Yep.
What was it in regulation? Doesn't
I will pull it up.
You get the
Okay.
point.
Yep.
This is a defense historically that has been great, and early in the season has been great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a defense that had its like a players only meeting last night, like the night before in LA at a gentleman's club, like Friday Night Light style. Like something so wrong and
Something
so
happened.
off that's like something happened, right? And it's a lack of discipline. It felt like they weren't. And here's the thing, like you talk about like, well, they didn't play hard. They didn't do like they had a letdown game. It's not, I think the misconception sometimes is that like they just kind of are half-assing it on the field. You look slow when you don't prepare properly. And when you don't prepare properly, that's on you. 18 to 22-year-olds getting paid money now. Know your role. Know, like you get what you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're a big-time player at a big-time program in a multi-billion-dollar business, right?
Correct.
And you're all trying to get to the NFL. And I promise you this, no one on that defense, all 11 of those starters and the backups coming in, all have their eyes on playing in the National Football League. So they know one thing collectively. This tape is out there. Doesn't matter who we're playing, Villanova. Doesn't matter if we're playing FIU or Nevada. Okay? So it's preparation. And so I'm not sitting here and saying like the Jim Knowles, who came in from Ohio State, doesn't know how to coach. Look at the first 4 games. Like they've done well. Oregon had like 400.
It was 17 at the 17 points at the end of regulation.
They wound up with like 420. It was 420. It was significantly more than Penn State had in total yards of offense, but they held them to 17 in regulation. Okay, and that's an offense that rolls. They held them to 3 in the first half. Talent's there, coaching's there. What's missing? Well, we know that the quarterback, it's not that he chokes. We've told you since May on the show, if you've been following the show, we've told you on the show what his weaknesses are and why they get exposed in big games. He doesn't show up like not prepared. He doesn't show up and the big moment's too big for him. The lights are too bright. That's not the deal, man. If you go back and watch historically, it's not the deal. But it took me a while in digging deep into tape to try to figure out there's 2 things that prevent him in big games, because big games are against good defenses, and good defenses have speed. And they fly to the football and they swarm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when he's going up against the Ohio States, the Michigans, the big-time programs, there's 2 things that prevent him from playing great in those games. Because he's big, he's strong, he processes fast, he sees the whole field with that tall frame, he's got a big-time arm, and it's weird because he's not twitchy and all this stuff, but he's instinctively, competitively athletic. So why does he fail in the big games? We've told you. He fails in the big games because that lack of twitch and suddenness as an athlete, it prevents him from getting away from those faster defensive linemen that are on him just like that. And the second part is he can't throw touch, accuracy, anticipation throws to receivers or running backs swinging out of the backfield on simple routes when they're running away from him. He's horribly inaccurate on those type of throws. Down the field, touch, dropping it in, post corners, go routes, wheel routes, and swing passes for some reason. And that's the reason. Receivers running away from him. So that's the offensive side. What happened today has not happened. It hasn't happened under James Franklin. It doesn't happen at Penn State, where the defense doesn't show up against an inferior opponent. Now you say, well, Nico, Iamaleava, he was due for a big game. He's Tennessee. He all the millions of dollars, and he could be leading Tennessee, and they could be undefeated, and all those things. But he was struggling against everyone else. You don't have a breakout game against Penn State.
No, they lost to New Mexico 35-10.
Thank you, Steve.
35-10.
So what is it? It's leadership. It's absolutely positive. Now, the big games, big games where you can't complete a pass to a wide receiver, that's quarterback. This is leadership. No one can tell me anything different. And you know when I knew for a fucking fact that it was leadership? Post game. I was listening so closely. I couldn't wait to hear, and I'd never watch a post game press conference from a coach. Like if it's on, it's just like, that's not my role in this whole thing. When I heard James Franklin come to the podium and said, there's a bunch of reasons why this happened, and we're terribly disappointed. And he went on to say, we didn't recover from last week.
We had some guys out.
We had some guys out. Travel. We lost. We didn't recover from last week. Basically emotionally is what he was saying. We had some guys out that we lost in that game, and travel. And then he goes on to say, he finishes it with,
he did say that's on me at some point. I know he said that.
This is why I paused. I'm sorry. Last week, injuries from last week, travel. But then he goes on to say, it's my responsibility. That's a joke, right? It's got to be a joke.
What do you mean?
Because you're basically saying you're saying my players didn't respond emotionally from last week. They weren't able to get back up after last week. It was so disappointing. You're saying my players, a few of them were injured in that game and weren't ready to play. We lost a few guys against Oregon, so we couldn't beat UCLA. How many points did they score against New Mexico?
10.
Correct. And then you're saying the travel was too hard. Well, do you know Ohio State the week before made almost an identical trip?
Right.
Go look on the map. Ohio to Pacific Northwest Washington is pretty much the same trip as State College to LA. Okay. And in fact, State College to LA might be a little shorter of a trip. I'm not sure. And then he goes on to, so to me, James Franklin is much more concerned about walking out there and starting with didn't recover emotionally, players were injured in that game, and the travel, and giving all the excuses and then circling back to, but I take responsibility.
Right.
It's just a word salad, man. When you're putting it on your players and injury and travel and circumstance, do you think Nick Saban would ever come out and say, like, mutter one of those things as excuses?
No.
Ever? Did you ever see him?
No.
He would walk out and the other part is, how about you just come out and be raw? How about you come out and just give me your emotion on this and say, we failed today. We failed as a program. This is my program. And there's no room for this in the Penn State program. This is unacceptable. And send a message to your players through the media. Send a message to everyone inside your organization, AKA program. Do whatever you have to. But don't come out and give excuses and then do the little... But do like the I have to say it's my responsibility. It's basically like it's like the worst. It
was a lot of PR.
It's the worst leadership out there. You and I have sat in locker rooms. We've had head coaches. We've had coaches in multiple sports, going back to high school. Like, there's nothing worse than when the head coach goes out and subtly blames it on you, the players, and the circumstances, and then it's like, but it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
I've had the unfortunate role in this and having and doing pregame stuff and dealing with whether it's injury reports, stories out there, and not getting true information. And there's always this, it's kind of, I feel like people nationally, and I'm not sitting here trying to like undercut James Franklin and do all that stuff. I'm just telling you, like, eventually flaws in leadership will come to the surface. And today, I think the nation got to see those flaws because I'll give James Franklin one thing. He is almost always, like basically always, won the games he's supposed to win. His teams win the games they're supposed to win. Yeah. So everyone rightfully so. And he knows the thing and he walks out and says, it's not whatever his quote was last week. It's not speculation, blah, blah, blah. It's fact. And we haven't won these big games.
Right.
But eventually this rises to the surface. And I think today we saw the first bit of it. I want to be careful how I frame this. If you're not real, you're not going to get the real results in the long term. You can despise certain coaches, but the real ones get the real results over time, and it's consistent. And everyone loses a game, and things happen and all that stuff. But I'm curious to see how Penn State goes from here. And I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see what the presidents and the decision makers and all that, what they're seeing now from James Franklin.
So two things really quickly. I saw this take from a Penn State, or I would assume a Penn State fan on X, and it honestly just bummed me out. Where it was, we can't get a new coach because that coach might not win 10 games a year for us. And I'm thinking, is that what Penn State fans want now? They just want the 10 games a year and they go to a good bowl and that's good. And we don't compete for national championships. We don't ever win the big game, but it's all right. Just win 10. I was like, what's the standard there now? What's the standard for that program? Because the Penn State that I want them to be is the Penn State that plays for national championships. So the fact that there was actually a Penn State, it's almost like the stages of grief, and they're trying to deal with whatever is going on. The second thing I'll say to you is, and this is a question, because I can answer it first if you want. If you know you're going to move on at this point, if Penn State knows they are going to move on, do you do it now or do you wait?
I feel badly. I'm reading this chat. I do it now.
I would do it now too.
I would do it now, but I don't foresee that happening at all.
And I don't take any
apparently
joy
apparently the Wi-Fi is not going well. And yes, I'm plugged into a cable, Chase Thompson. And I do feel bad. No, it's not you. All right. Apparently we're back in business now.
Good.
So I don't know if everyone just missed what I said. I assume in post we'll have it all cleaned up. So you'll have to go back and watch that, because I'm certainly not redoing it right now.
Feinbaum hacked the internet.
Feinbaum hacked the internet.
Belichick's girlfriend shut down McShay.
I'll give you a 10-second synopsis if you missed it. Poor leadership eventually surfaces. And I think today was the first time we saw poor leadership surface. When you start to make excuses, and the first three things you say at a press conference are excuses and kind of subtly blaming it on your players and the circumstances, and then you use the bullshit word salad and kind of and the whole PR thing of, but I take responsibility. Those are just words, man. If you come out and you're not taking responsibility, and then you just say, but it's my responsibility, I take responsibility. No, it's my responsibility. I wrote it down. It means nothing. It means nothing to anyone watching what you're saying. It means nothing to the media, but most importantly, it means nothing to those players in the locker room, because you know who has the best bullshit detector in the world? Football players, for some reason. We're not the smartest group always. We got all sorts of problems and issues. But for some reason, maybe it's because there's like 53 in the NFL and there's like 80 to 90 in college. And like, if one person doesn't pick up on it, then the next guy does, and everyone realizes, whatever it is, like, we sniff through it. Players sniff through it. And so
they spend a ton of time together. They work a ton together. They just you can't get away with being less than genuine. You just can't do it.
And so when you didn't have your team prepared, you don't blame it on the travel. You don't blame it on injuries from last week.
Travel, man. What are we talking about?
Yeah. So anyway,
listen, can I say something? The travel is a real thing. I'm not.
I
I'm
agree.
Not saying,
the Big Ten has a problem on its hand. Like this is not sustainable. Like, you watch some of the outcomes and you watch some of the up and down performances. The travel is a thing.
It's not the thing you bring up after losing to UCLA.
But it wouldn't be for Kirby Smart. It wasn't for Nick Saban. It wasn't for Urban Meyer, whether you love him or hate him. Has Dan Lanning ever made it? Maybe I miss it.
Yeah, I don't know how the Ducks were able to do it after traveling across the country last week with all that travel.
Exhausted.
I mean, they must have had some other game plan for them to come all the way to your place cross country and win that game. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So So yeah, that's my take. And hopefully I do apologize. It's obviously not anyone's fault. We're all connected to cables. We're not sitting on Wi-Fi. Bill Simmons didn't hack in. Paul Feinbaum didn't hack in. Kuiper didn't hack in. I saw that. But I do appreciate the humor. And if you want to get the whole rant, I guess we'll just, I know Tucker will fix it in post and we'll have to watch it tomorrow. All right, let's get on to some of the other games.
Let's do it.
I do want to come back to Miami, Florida State.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. It's fresh on the mind. And I'm glad we kind of got that out of the way, but it's fresh on the mind. Couple things stood out to me. The first drive, the first drive and a half. I think it was the first. No, it was the first drive. Malzahn and Castellanos early on. That's what it was supposed to look like for 4 quarters, right? Mm-hmm. That first drive, like they were testing Miami's eye discipline. That one, it was some misdirection. I think it was a running back snuck out of the backfield or whatever it was. He's now kind of on a wheel route type of deal going down the right side. And
it was Chroma. Yep. The freshman Chroma.
Okay. And Castellanos connects on that big play. Then Castellanos comes out next play and he takes off running. So now we got throw, through the air on the ground, bang, bang. Then they run like a reverse. It only picks up 4, but it just felt like things were rolling, right?
Yeah.
They don't finish that drive. They kick a field goal. It's 3-0. But you felt like, oh, this is gonna be the back.
They moved the ball against everyone. They didn't lose to Virginia because they couldn't move the ball. They've moved the ball against everyone. So you felt like, oh, this is an offense that they can compete with this Miami defense.
But then Corey Heatherman kicked in. And I'm only saying Corey Heatherman because I don't even think, quite honestly, it was like major adjustments after the first drive.
No,
I think it was, fellas, we expected that. It's okay.
Yeah.
We held him to great job holding him to 3. Let's remember all the things we drilled in all week long. We've been working on this. We're good. Hey, linebacker, you know that read. Keep on. Let's go. Let's regroup. Great job. Let's go. They calm down defensively, and when they calm down, they read their keys, and when they read their keys, they play fast and they play vicious, as Heatherman talks about.
I mean, it is fun to watch. I also like that Heatherman covers his mouth whenever he makes a call. Yeah, he's always like he's like that paranoid coordinator of I'm not giving them anything, man. I'm not going to give them
a lot of guys do now, but his energy on the sideline is nuts.
Awesome. It's great. It's awesome.
Jacoby Thomas, man, he is turning into something.
I was not really that familiar with him until tonight.
I wasn't either. Middle Tennessee, transferred to Tennessee. 1 year in 2024 at Tennessee, transfers here to Miami and meets up with Heatherman, and Heatherman is getting the most out of this cat. He knows how to use him. I have to go study the tape. I was just going to say, it almost feels like some similarity to what we're seeing with Harold Perkins at LSU. And I don't, just on watching TV, because I've not done
Perkins at Ole Miss.
Yeah. I can never pronounce his first name.
Right.
But yes. But he's like 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds.
Coming off the edge.
He's versatile, he's fast, and he's playing fast. And you can these last 2 games, he's become a dominant factor. Because you got dudes up front, right? We know about Ruben Bain. I did a whole thing on him last week. If you want to go see a detailed breakdown, like the power, the quickness, the way he's setting guys up, he's going to keep getting better with his hands. He's outside of blazing speed off the edge, which most of the guys in the NFL, the Bosa's ran 4. I was at both of their pro days, 4.82 or 4.84, and 4.78, I think was the fastest. I think Nick ran a slightly faster time, whatever it was. A lot of the guys in the league are not the fastest edge rushers who are putting up the biggest numbers. Okay. And he's just power. And so he, even versus the run, he's taking on 2 blocks. He's disrupting. The guy who I've been really impressed with is Akeem Mesidor, man.
Yeah.
from the defensive line, he was leading. Last I checked in the game, like midway through the fourth quarter, he's leading the team in tackles.
Yeah, those guys play a ton of snaps, by the way.
A ton.
I'm interested to see how that goes over the course of the season. That's something I'm keeping an eye on because not only do they play a ton of snaps, there's no like hidden breaks in there. There's no like, I'm going to take this one off. Like I'm going to, maybe not chase to the other side. Those guys are maniacs. I mean, they just go 100 miles every time they're on the field. And it's unbelievable. And I don't think Messidor likes I say this in a good way. I don't think he likes all the Ruben Bain talk in a sense of, I'm going to be as good as he is. I'm going to compete as hard as he is. Like I don't think Messidor thinks he's DE2. I think he thinks, and he plays like this. Like I'm going to compete. I'm going to push him, and he's going to push me. You know what I mean? And he is playing at a very high level right now. And he is, when they kick him inside, it gives them a whole other element. He is a nightmare going against interior offensive linemen. So there's those two. I think Herbstreit said I think he said they might be the best defensive in tandem. If there's a better one, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I can't imagine there's a better one.
No, that's the deal right there in South Florida. It's that.
Yeah,
tandem.
I mean,
I just love Heatherman, man. 44-year-old NFL Europe. He's a 44-year-old
beard, like the big beard.
He's a 44-year-old If anyone's from Massachusetts, like Oxford, Mass, like out in the western parts, Oxford, Mass.
Chip on their shoulder.
Former Division III quarterback, right?
Where did he play? Fitchburg?
I think so.
Okay.
And then ex-Rutgers assistant. Bounces around different places, JMU, all that stuff. Then he fixes Minnesota in one season. Had that thing turned around. They could have used him tonight against Ohio State.
That's unfair, but yeah.
And you listen, I have the greatest love in the world for Massachusetts. I played at Swampscott. I love Massachusetts football. Swampscott Marblehead rivalry. It was like my life growing up, right? Live here in Cohasset, Massachusetts now. By the way, congratulations, Cohasset.
What they do?
This little tiny Cohasset squad. Small little town, like right in a little fisherman area. 3-1 on the season. Just beat D2 North Quincy. Beautiful new stadium. Live stream game. I got to watch from home last night. I'm getting ready for today. They got some dudes, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What's their mascot?
I don't want to say it. Swampscott's the Big Blue, and I bleed Big Blue blood. Okay?
That's a great one, by the way. The Big Blue.
It's just the Big
that's
Blue.
A good one.
And welcome to the swamp. It's the Skippers. But I was impressed last night, man. This is a tiny little town, right? We got
good for them.
I'm texting AJ, my stepson, who's he's on the team. I'm like, and he wasn't dressed last night. I'm like, who's 55? That tall frame D line? Like, I can't ever stop. Like the offensive line's controlling shit up front. This is good. Wildfire, the quarterback, good player.
Yeah.
Talking about Gus Green is a dude. They're running back. So I'm all over it last night. 88, 50, 55, 58. So anyway. So I'm just saying, tip of the hat to Cohasset. I'm impressed. 3-1. Now we're getting into divisional play, and they're going to run this thing. But yeah, I have a respect, but I also Mass football is not considered the greatest thing in the world. And he's a D3 quarterback. And then he's like an ex-Rutgers assistant, and then he keeps climbing. And now he's the perfect fit for one of the best defenses in the country. And he was the missing link. I'm telling you, this Heatherman guy was the missing link for Mario Cristobal. Because they're not going to score like Cam Ward numbers this year. They just don't have the receivers. The quarterback is playing at a high level, and I want to get to that in a second. And someone just asked on the thing, I want to make sure. Brian Halterman said 4th round for Beck. We'll go back to the McShay report. We'll kind of clue you into it. And maybe it will be 4th round. And there's a lot of stuff to sort through with that. I would have said 4th. I would have said day 3 coming into the year. So much uncertainty, so many things wrong. But I'm seeing a much more decisive quarterback this year And what did I say after we did a whole report? So please go back and watch the Wednesday, actually Thursday morning, the McShay show. But more importantly, I think if you want a deep dive on where Beck is as an NFL prospect right now, I did in the McShay report last week. Google the McShay report. Please.
I missed Double Down. Can we do a Double Down again?
We'll get a double down going for you. That was your favorite. But my point is on Beck. I said in there, the one thing that I've seen that's missing, and sometimes it's him, sometimes it's the receiver. This Miami offense in general was missing the deep ball. So I'm watching tonight, and that first deep ball he throws to Malachi Toney, covered beautifully, DB on him, but the ball was dropped in perfectly. It would have been a brutally hard catch. Doesn't make the catch, and honestly, it was like, I get it. It would have been a brilliant catch. Doesn't make it, but I'm like, that ball was there. The timing's there. That looks better. And I had everyone yelling at me about JoJo Trader. And there's another receiver too, a young guy. His name doesn't come to mind right now. It doesn't really matter. The point is, but everyone said, well, you didn't, JoJo Trader's going to come out. He's coming out of nowhere. The vertical game is going to be fixed when Trader's. Hey, by the way, folks, Trader was an active scratch. He was an active scratch last week.
Canes fans who were like doing that deep dive.
Yeah, their last game, he was an active scratch. So, like, which is fine. Like, I think the coaching staff is like, do we want to plug him in right now? We got a good thing going. So it was a timing issue, and it was Beck not kind of missing and not being, and then sometimes the receiver. So to see him come out and make that throw, I was like, this is a good sign, even though it was incomplete. And then the next, great. And then the CJ Daniels had the 47-yard catch down the field. Then the flea flicker touchdown to Toney for 44 yards. What a call. What a quick beautiful throw. Those were
unbelievable throw. Unbelievable execution, but what a call.
It was. So if you're watching all this and you're studying it as like intently as I was this week for a day and a half, Beck and Bain, and you're saying to yourself, there's really kind of one thing missing. And that's the vertical passing game. And you see them come out against Florida State, and there it is. And you're like, okay, maybe this is legitimately one of only 2 or 3 elite teams in college football. And we'll get to the AP top 12. We got some stuff. We got some stuff to cut up.
Don't get me going.
I'm just saying, like, I don't have a problem with as high as you want to put them.
Can we? I don't know if we can talk about Malachi Toney enough, man. The way he pulled away after the catch and then the deep ball, like he is. We've already said it. Even the way he had a feel for the sticks early in this game, and he was right at the sticks on that route, and he just falls forward. Just the instinct there. Everything about his game, other than his size, is impressive. It's just, I can't say it enough. He's just different.
I hear you. He is different. And did you see the one touchdown he had that was called back? I wasn't.
Which one,
people think I'm ignoring Muench. I'm not. I'm just I'm multitasking.
It's fine. I'm used to it. It's cool.
No, I know. Honestly, if people bugged our conversations over the years, it's exactly how it goes. I come right back to you, and then you'll be looking something up, and you'll ignore me, and kind of. But I'm sure for people watching and listening, they're like, do they have like is there a cohesion issue here?
Well, sometimes you got to remember that we're actually doing a show and not just yapping.
I know, but I feel like it's kind of better if we don't. The touchdown that Toney had.
I feel like how do I feel like I missed this?
That was called back. There was a holding, and he like broke a couple. It was pretty wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. No. It
was called back because
I think it was down the left sideline.
It was down the left rail. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And it was called back as the illegal shift because the guy went towards the line of scrimmage.
What did Toney finish with? Because like that would have been another like 40 or 50.
Easy. And another touchdown. 7 for 107 and 2 touchdowns.
So he would have had like 8 for 150 something and 2.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
They didn't actually Miami. I'm just because you just asked me to look at that number. Like Miami had 32 carries for 97 yards. They didn't run the ball that well tonight.
Who does Miami lose to? No, I hear you. I'm
on their schedule right now or in the playoff. What are you saying?
In the regular season.
Okay.
I don't know. It's over, man.
That's what I mean. So are you asking me?
Their next game is their toughest, and at SMU's their toughest game. They're going to be.
I think Louisville might be.
Let's find out. I'm curious. What are they favored by? Louisville at home next week. It's got to be 17. 14.
I wouldn't be surprised.
17.
Yeah,
Louisville lost a tough one to Virginia. Played well, but couldn't find a way to win. At SMU will be like 13
Virginia had 2
plus.
defensive touchdowns.
The rest of their games, Mensch, it's Stanford, Syracuse, which last I looked today, they were losing.
Well, they're down to their backup quarterback now, and
yeah. Stanford, it goes Louisville at home, Stanford at SMU, then Syracuse, NC State both at home, and then 2 road games at the end of the year, Virginia Tech, and then Pitt, who just changed their quarterback because things weren't going well. They
smoked
benched,
DC today. Yeah, but they smoked DC today.
Yeah, so maybe the backup's better than Holstein, Eli. Excuse me. All right, let's move on from this game. We got a lot to get to.
Yes.
Vanderbilt, Alabama.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You sound excited.
There's a lot of things to be excited about from the Alabama standpoint. I will say this. It ended up 30-14. I thought Vanderbilt went in there and gave them a pretty damn good game. And I think Vanderbilt, I don't know if Vanderbilt fans want to hear this. I'm sure the team doesn't want to hear about how they're not a bye in the SEC anymore, or about how much progress they've made. But you know what they have? They are a better team than they have been historically. And it's worth saying they're 5-1. This is the second loss in the SEC. Like, Vanderbilt's a pretty good team. And I think that's important to mention because we've been pretty high on Alabama, and man, they just went out and did what we thought they were going to do, or what they should do, which was Ty Simpson had a great day. Those wide receivers are awesome. Your guy, Jeremy Bernard, does, is a great route runner, makes all kinds of plays. Ryan Williams makes plays. I think Isaiah Horton is wildly underrated, and that we're not talking about him enough. I mean, those 3 receivers plus Ty Simpson, which I want to ask you about something with him going forward, but that passing game is great. And then the running game came alive today. And you looked at that drive. That was an Alabama drive to close out this game to get that field goal. That was Alabama football, man. That was, what's coming, and we don't give a shit. We're still going to run it down your throat. We're going to close out this game. This is our place. This is our game. Like the attitude of that was, okay, now it feels like a little bit like Alabama's back. Like all of a sudden you got that high power offense with those awesome wide receivers. Like, again, this looks familiar to me. Now the defense, I don't think the defense is quite as good as some of the historical Alabama defenses, but it's good enough. It's good enough.
And getting better.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And I'll get to the defense in a second. Like, the main character almost was never the quarterback at Alabama during their glory years, like 2011, 2012, about 2000, whatever it was. It was always the running back.
Right.
Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram, it was always the running back. Every year it was a first rounder, and the backup was a first rounder, but like wanted one more year had to play one more year before he's eligible to be a first rounder. It was bing, bing, bing. The main character though for Alabama now is Ty Simpson with those receivers. That's the main character. What was missing though, what was concerning to me when Jam Miller was out, and there's this guy, Justice Haynes, up in Ann Arbor, who, by the way, has rushed for over 100 yards and a touchdown plus in every game this year. I'm saying, what did they do? And I'm still not done saying that completely, but I finally today, for the first time with my own eyes, got to see this. It's cool if that's the main character, but if you're going to be a complete football team, you got to have really good supporting actors. And the run game is the most important supporting actor, right?
Yeah.
Like Matt Damon's nothing in Good Will Hunting without Ben Affleck.
Right. It's true.
Okay.
They need one another.
Damon was awesome, but they need each other. Okay. And so When I'm watching Jan Miller and I'm watching, he's got 22 carries, 136, not a monster day. But I watched them control.
Great day, though.
I watched them control. They flipped the script from a year ago. And I like the way that they controlled it. They possessed it for 40 minutes, man.
Yeah. After Vanderbilt did the same to them last year. I mean, they were, I thought it was impressive. All right, I'm going to ask you this right now because William Gray is asking it in the chat, and I kind of agree with him.
36 minutes. I'm sorry. Hold on to that, though.
Yep.
Don't lose it. It was 36 minutes. They controlled it for 36 minutes, 8 more first downs, 69 offensive plays compared to Vandy 53. It was almost flipped from a year ago.
Yeah.
So it was.
And they wore their ass down.
Wore it down. They scored 40 on them last year. It was like 15-0 before you could blink.
Yeah.
The biggest drive in this game for Alabama was right before the half. And I've told you this before. I always told Sean, and I was not bullshitting. Because there were a couple times where I was leaning towards going into the NFL, and you know that.
Yeah.
And wanted to make that climb to the general manager. And I always said, if I'm controlling an organization, Sean McDonough is the best I've ever been around with time management. I texted him during the game and reminded him. And he starts in on, because if you really listen to him throughout the game, but then right before the half, he always knows.
I know what you're talking about.
They should be calling timeouts now. And DeBoer's
going to call a timeout.
DeBoer beat him to it, and I could hear it in his voice. Great decision. He's sitting up there like, great decision, right? DeBoer got ahead of it. Don't care if they score 3 or 6. We're going to have a little time for our offense to come back because coaches are obsessed with the middle 4, right?
Yep, the middle 8.
The middle 8. The middle 8. The last 4 of the first half, the first 4 of the second half. Obsessed with it. I'm thinking the 4-minute drill. So the middle 8. So in order to not lose it, we better have time left to get some points on before we go to half and then come back out and do our thing. So he calls timeouts perfect. Sets them up. They've got about 2 minutes when they get the ball back. Right around there. They go 78 yards, 6 plays. Because DeBoer got them time, so they didn't have to rush that thing, but it did it on 6 plays. Ty Simpson goes 5 for 5.
And they scored with like 17 seconds left, something like that. I mean, it was pretty much perfection. And then the throw, and McElroy did a great job of documenting it, but like with his eyes, this guy's throwing NFL throws over the middle of the field, anticipation. As McElroy said, and he put it into the teeth of the defense. That's like veteran stuff. When you're not like, give me the outbreaking stuff or the crossers that are easy when everyone's got rub routes and all. Like he's doing the stuff that's the hard stuff. And this time he with his eyes negotiates that safety just enough. Throws down the left sideline to Jeremy Bernard. Okay. 27-yard touchdown catch, but he makes the catch with the split second before that safety comes back over. Now, why was that safety not there on time? Because Ty Simpson is a first-year starting quarterback, negotiated him just enough. Yeah.
And so this all
it's
comes
so
together.
Much fun to watch.
Oh, it's like watching Traeger DePietro and Martha's Vineyard paint a painting.
I don't know who that is.
Well, you should, because he's one of the best artists in the world. No, he's one of my best friends, and he lives in the vineyard, and he's a great artist.
Awesome.
Excuse me.
All right, William Gray wants to know what I want to know.
What?
And I'll tell you right now, I have a feeling about it. The sacks. Simpson's taking some sacks. There's a couple times you're like, oh, you got a tough position. I'm going to jump you right now.
Took that really bad one late in the game, but yes.
Here's why I'm okay with it.
Okay.
You gotta take the bad with the good a little bit. And he's extending plays and he's eluding. I mean, you think about that touchdown he threw to Isaiah Horton, I think last week in the red zone where he rolled to his right and then he pulled up and avoided a guy and threw it in between 3 defenders. And I mean, he's making plays when he's extending plays like that. So one, if you start getting him to throw the ball away or, run and get down, he's going to stop making those plays. I think it's going to make it make him less confident in that. So I don't want to take that away from his game. So I'll take a couple sacks if that's what it means, if I get that in return. And the other thing is I kind of have confidence in him to, when they're behind the sticks, for him to convert. I think they're in a unique position where if they're you don't ever want to be 2nd and 15. You don't want to be 3rd and 12. But in a weird way, Alabama's built to convert in those situations. They have they have the quarterback and the playmakers. So it's not the end of the world if they get behind the sticks. So I'll take it if it means if the trade-off is not getting as many sacks, but he's not as aggressive in making those plays, then I don't want it.
No, I hear you. Yeah. Here's the thing. Sometimes you watch a quarterback and you say, like, I don't know if it's going to happen this season. Or sometimes you watch a quarterback and say, I don't know if he's capable of. The thing that I like with Ty Simpson and what I've seen so far is the things that he can improve upon. First of all, there are areas in which he can improve. It's not out of his physical or mental capacity to improve. And second of all, they're little, I don't want to say niche or like, there are specific things where you can go back into the lab and you can look at it and say, all right, how do we do this better? Mm-hmm. And the offensive coaching staff, the coordinator and the quarterback coach can say, tell me what you saw. If this seems to be a problem that's come up a couple times. So what can we do? What guardians or, some borders or barricades can we put in place? How can we speed up your eyes on this? There are things that are like specific. Do you know what I mean? These are not overarching problems. These are not things that are beyond his mental or physical capability. These are things that's like, oh, we've got all the big things down. Now we've whittled down to like the kind of the fun stuff. Let's get a little better here. Let's get a little better here. Let's do it each week. Yeah, I think he'll just keep getting better, man.
X Factor said a couple of things on here that were interesting about it. He said that in the press conference, Simpson acknowledged it, said he can't take those sacks, but also that the same play that he took the bad sack that you were talking about was the same play that he threw the touchdown to Ryan Williams on. So that's what I'm talking about. They're very similar plays, and sometimes it doesn't pay off, but other times there's a big payoff. You know what I mean?
That's very much.
You're right.
Point.
He's in graduate level quarterback courses right now. He's not doing quarterback 101. It's graduate stuff of, okay, you already have reached to a level where we can work on these certain issues.
And I appreciate, one of my favorite parts about doing the show is the live chat and everyone who's in here and yeah, some people are angry, some people are drunk, some people are silly, some people are all that stuff, and that's fun.
Some people are trying to get people fired, Haas.
Yeah, but Haas has become a staple, man. I like where Haas has settled into a groove with this show. But I like the feedback and like the back and forth, and these are like important things to cover when you're talking about this game, because I think it takes it somewhere where probably not a lot of shows or people are taking it and talking about. But I think it's important. I think it was important for us to have that conversation because it's different from what you're going to hear and talk about in a lot of other places. Yeah, but I also don't want to bury the lead. And the lead in this whole thing is that Kane Womack's defense was the actual show. This defense, man, like predating Womack, predating DeBoer, this defense is going back to Nick, one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time, one of the greatest head coaches, the greatest college football head coach of all time.
Yeah, no question.
They always had trouble with like the misdirection, the mobile quarterback combination, guys. They just did. Okay.
I thought the shovel pass was going to get them again today. I was like, come on, man. Enough with the shovel pass.
Hey, Tucker, these things are driving my ears crazy and I can't bounce around. Tucker did text me this week and said they're on the phone with Bose. I want portable stuff. I want to be on the move. I keep hearing that they've got the best stuff out there. I want them on our show. And Tucker will get that done. Anyway, Womack, though, did something today that like had to happen for this Alabama team. And he just said, I'm on it. I know you are, Tuck. But also, it was really encouraging to see because it hasn't happened. Like they've had problems with this on and off for a long time, ever since I've been covering college football. And so they came out today, and early on, it was like, uh-oh,
It didn't look good early, right?
It didn't look good early. And remember, they gave up 40 last year. And so to see that happen, all of a sudden now it gets into your players' heads. Like, here we go again.
Yeah.
All the stuff that they coached us on, maybe it's not right. Or am I reading the wrong thing? Or my eyes in the wrong? When you start second
do I need to do
yourself,
more than my job? Do I start taking myself out of position? All that stuff snowballs so fast. Again, remember, these are 21, 22-year-old kids. Like, it's hard to hold your water in that situation and just, what do they say it now? Farm your land. Is that what the new saying is? Farm your own land or something like that? Yeah.
It's one of many.
I like that one. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. But to watch them all of a sudden settle in and to show discipline and to wait a quarter count longer instead of shooting your gun as a linebacker and to be a little cautious of maybe I'm taking the cheese.
Yep.
Maybe that carrot that's dangling is not the meal. Right?
Yep.
And you could see
true.
it. And then they started playing faster because they got confident that stuff's there's nothing like the magician gets you with his left hand, but he's really sticking it to you with his right. Right? That's the trick is with the right, but the magic is with the left. And they started to figure that out, and they started to get confidence in it. And then guys started playing fat like this Yanze Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
He's a problem. Where the hell?
Where have you been?
I forget some names occasionally. Once I learn your name, I don't forget your name in sports. I do out in real life all the time.
Yeah.
But I would if I had much dealings with Yanze before, I would have remembered that. Yanze Pierre is a problem. And they're missing a couple guys, and they were dinged up, but DeBoer wasn't complaining about that in his post press conference. LT Overton's still doing his thing, and he's playing really well. I like LT, and you were on him early. Man. He's your guy. And so it all came together, and Womack, like, give some love to Womack in this defense.
The safety Keon Sabb had a nice day.
He had a pick. He almost had another one. And they shut our guy up.
Yeah. They shut him shut out in the second half. Vanderbilt nothing in the second half.
Which is remarkable. And it's the first time I haven't watched a ton, but I went back and watched all the tape from the season this week to get a beat on this game because that's what I wanted to dive into. Why is it this lesser talent team is beating Alabama? And we said that Alabama, like, it's different this year. But why is this isn't pulling up?
What are you looking for?
Crazy. I wanted to see what Pavia finished with. Pavia, sorry.
I gotcha. 21 for 35, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 12 carries, 58 yards. But he had a 36-yard run, and then after that, it was 22.
But they forced two turnovers from Pavia, right? From Diego.
The fumble and the fumble and the interception. Yep.
Right.
The fumble, that rip was beautiful. I mean, that was a thing of beauty.
He had a 93-yard drive to start the game, but he fumbled on the second drive. He had the interception later in the game, finished 21 of 35, as you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they needed him, when the Diego magic normally happens, they weren't here for it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
If you're a Bama fan, this is the most encouraging. Like, this to me, for some reason, feels even more encouraging than beating Georgia. That game's always a war. Huh. I know it sounds stupid. This was at Alabama. That was between the hedge. I'm not saying it's a better win. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying, like, from a program standpoint, I feel like there's a lack of trust in DeBoer and his program. If you're in Tuscaloosa, there's been this lack of trust. Is the consistency going to be there? And so to beat, here was the problem with this game. Vanderbilt's actually a good football team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Vanderbilt still's named Vanderbilt. Like the Gilded Age, right? It's kind of an SEC joke. And I know it's trending the other way, and I know this is a good football team and all those things, but it's hard to get your players up after Georgia for this game.
Yeah.
Even though they got beat a year ago. And then just go into the X's O's. Forget the emotional part. This is a team that scored 40 on you last year. And people are saying this defense isn't as good. I mean, sure as shit didn't look as good against Florida State in week 1. You know, like, and that was a mobile court. There were just a lot of elements to this game that pointed towards this could be a problem. Which team's going to show up? So I don't know. I just thought that this was like highly encouraging.
I was trying to figure out where Alabama. Yeah, do you know that I realized this week, and it really goes to your point. Do you know that when Alabama lost to Vanderbilt last year, you know who they beat the week before? Georgia. And you know what they were ranked going into that Vanderbilt game?
High.
First overall. They were 1. They were ranked 1. They go in, they lose that Vanderbilt game, they lose to Tennessee 2 weeks later. They end up losing to Oklahoma, and that's it. That was the end of it. So that's why you've got that trauma. You've got the 2024 trauma of, I saw them beat Georgia last year, and then they went in, and then they went to Vanderbilt and lost, and then the wheels kind of came off. So in a way, I get it. You're saying I've already seen them beat Georgia. I haven't seen them come back and take care of business the next week, and that's what this team did this year. Are you muted? I can't hear you.
I was muted.
There you are.
I was trying not to cough in everyone's ear again. All right, we're back. The technical problems. It's the first time we've ever actually had like real technical problems.
I think we're handling it well.
Oh, I think it's great. I think you have to have conflict and you have to overcome things, right? Texas, Florida, number 9 Texas at Florida.
There's there's a lot to get into here. I'm gonna let you go.
I thought the Gators came out and shocked me, so I can't imagine how. I don't know what Texas was shocked. I was shocked with that first drive of the game.
Okay.
This is a team that has not been able to move the football. This is a team with a quarterback that has made some horrible decisions. This is a team offensively that has struggled mightily in almost every game offensively, but especially against good defenses. This is one of the best defenses in the entire country. They hadn't, whatever was broke, they hadn't given up something in the first quarter or in the first drive. Maybe it was a touchdown the first drive dating back to like 1823 or something. You know, like whatever it was. It's leather helmets. So like the thing that FanDuel and everyone, like the thing that no one expected was Florida gets the ball and drives down the field with a balanced offense, plays from their quarterback and the running game, their running backs, and scores on Texas. And that's what they did. And then they go up 10-0. And it looks like, so is this offense like really going to happen today? Like I'm confused. They go up 10-0. Then Manning to his roommate, Livingston.
Yep.
It got that chunk play. Awesome catch. He got banged up on that play, but then the bootleg after that to Weiser. I'm like, so Texas and Florida? Is this going to be a shootout?
Yeah,
what's going on? And then Florida scores again, 17-7. Then this was the play. It wasn't game over, but this was the play when you look back at this game where you say things really could have been different, even though this was Florida's game really from the jump.
It felt like that, right?
There were a couple times where Texas, it felt like, okay, Texas is ready to kick it into gear, and they're only one lag way, bad decision away, right?
Yep.
Kind of felt like that a couple times. There was a 10-minute stretch in this game where Arch played really well.
He did.
Arch, that one throw, and I don't have
the Wingo, the 38-yard touchdown.
When he kind of climbed, reset his feet, and threw it to Wingo for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That was his best play. Combination of like feet moving, extending, but then resetting and throw for a touchdown. That was his best play of the entire season.
I agree.
But there was this it was 17-7. Arch misses the wide open wide receiver. Now, granted, it was almost similar, like he's climbing, but he doesn't get his feet set. Or no, he's climbing to his right, and the defender was on him. He off platform, really like unbalanced, terrible spot to have to throw the ball from. But it's a wide open receiver, Mosley, number 3. It's a touchdown if he hits.
Right.
And that's on 3rd down. So they come out and punt, and they get the punt block safety. That 2-play stretch, Texas possessed the ball. That was like tough to overcome, right?
Yeah, that wasn't the backbreaker though.
No, go ahead.
You know, I'll let you talk. You this
No,
is
no,
your
no.
guy. The backbreaker was the uber talented freshman going 55 yards on your ass to make it 29-14. Dallas Wilson's going to be a dude.
Oh, I was going to get to that. So
Yeah, that's the backbreaker. Because at that point, it's still a one possession game after the Wingo touchdown. I mean, you're this looks okay. Like Texas can still get back into it. There's the whole 4th quarter left. And then Legway at the end of the 3rd throws that the 55-yarder.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
No, because I want to close the book on Texas. And I'm in this this weird spot where it's like Florida won this game. So we're going to finish with Florida because I want to actually talk about the team that won the game and give the respect.
Fair.
I feel like I've talked about Arch as much as any player in the country because of everything that's going on in the circumstances. I think we all know where Arch is. I do want to say I'm more encouraged by this performance than I have been at any point during this season as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had to grab his you-know-whats today. And I think there were moments, and if you're hopeful, if you're Texas, if you're Sarkisian and everyone, this becomes the next step. Because that in the second half, we can win a lot of games with. It wasn't enough, but there was something that kind of clicked where it was like this emergency mode. I got to stop thinking and got to stop making it perfect. And let's just go. So there was an encouraging aspect to this, but no one in Austin gives a shit about encouraging. They're 3-2. They're 3-2. And that guy wearing the Manning jersey was supposed to be the difference because we got everything else allegedly. And Ewers was just mid. And this guy's way better than mid. He's a Manning. So he hasn't been that. But it was really promising. And I think but this is a 2-year deal with Arch. Okay.
Yep. That's clear now.
But I want to say this. There were 3 parts of this game. There were 3 elements to why Texas lost this game.
I'm glad you're getting into this.
I don't even know.
It's not all Arch.
I don't even know that the defense didn't play up to its level, but they battened down the hatches and they played well enough for maybe 3/4 of this game with a competent offense. They can win this game and just say this wasn't our best outing. There are 3 fucking problems with Texas, man. And and it's equal parts. And it kind of varies a little bit in terms of degree each week, but let's just be honest. It's equal parts. Arch has been nowhere near the product that we expected him to be.
Yep.
So by saying these other 2 parts, I am not taking anything off of Arch's shoulders.
Right.
I'm scared about what we've seen with Arch, and I'm hopeful that Arch can kind of take this and recognize this is how I've got to play, and there's got to be an aggressive mentality to how I do things and all of that. Because if he doesn't, we got much bigger problems.
I agree.
But we're closing in on that. I'm being honest too. Okay. But there are 2 other things that were equal parts today. That offensive line sucked. It did.
Well, you can't give immediate pressure up the middle and expect your young quarterback to play well. I don't. What do you mean?
And I'm going to let you talk on the offensive line in a second. But the third equal part, and it's a byproduct. All 3 things are byproducts of one and the other. If your quarterback's not playing well, then the run game's not going. If the run game's not working, then the more pressure on the quarterback. And if the offensive line, then the pressure's coming and we don't have holes to run. It all works together. But where the fuck goes the run game for Texas, man? I get it. It's CJ Baxter, the hamstring, and but like, this is Texas.
Figure it out, man. You did last year. Everyone was hurt last year too. Like it's not like you've never had running back
Contravian
injuries.
Wisner is what we know he is. He's a grinder and he's a pounder. And if our game plan is to run 25 plus times, he's going to wear you out like he did against A&M last year. But he's not a featured number one guy. So why don't we have other guys coming in? But I look up at the end of the game. Do you know that Wisner and Clark were the only two running backs at the University of Texas to carry the football today? And they had 9 carries for 11 yards, Steve. So you tell me what the problem is.
I mean, that Florida State defense is good. Giving them a little bit of credit. Let's do
like
that.
I said, we'll get to Florida in a minute.
Yeah.
But when you watch that offensive line, what?
It hasn't come together. I mean, it's just they lost a lot in the draft, and it just hasn't come together. And I want to be careful about this because I already talked to there's a lot of people reaching out on X asking about this, and there are some things that I saw in the game about not sustaining blocks in the run game, about guys getting, again, interior offensive linemen getting beat clean, which every quarterback in the world is going to fail in that situation. It's just impossible. There are things that I'm seeing. I do want to go back and watch the tape and be more specific about it, whether it's certain fronts and all that. But I mean, I'll just echo what you're saying. They're not playing well enough up front. Like the offensive line hasn't been good enough. And I think, and maybe I share this sentiment with you, I almost feel like we're not being critical enough of that group up front because we don't want to sound like we're being easy on Arch.
Yes.
Or at least I don't want to sound like I'm being easy on Arch.
Because I'm not being easy on Arch. It's a problem. It's not there yet, but it was encouraging.
No. But I'll say this too.
It can't get much better.
I still think that Arch has a very high ceiling. I'm still optimistic about Arch becoming, the quarterback that he's capable of becoming, but he has played, I mean, I don't know another way of saying it. He has not played well. It's been disappointing and a little bit and a lot concerning so far. So I got to say those things. And I feel like if I say, oh, by the way, the receivers have dropped some balls or they haven't run the right routes, or by the way, their offensive line sucked tonight, then people are going to be like, oh, you're just making up excuses for Arch. And so I think they've almost gotten off the hook a little bit. The group, they've not played well up front. They just haven't played well. They had a lot to replace after the draft. They had to bring in 4 new starters, and it just hasn't come together the way that they would want it to. And they do have injuries at running back, but I don't want to hear about that because honestly, I don't know, they're cursed at that position, but they've had injuries at running back, it feels like every year.
No, I know. I don't know. I think we're on the same page. I don't think that people are dying to hear about 2 and 3 Florida right now, but I do want to remind people that the SEC is kind of a mess in the best way, but like there's so much talent and so many good teams, and I don't know that there's a team that's as good as Ohio State or Miami in the SEC yet.
Okay.
I see a couple teams that at the end of the year.
Would you put Oregon in that group too?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That's okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. I was thinking the 2 Big Ten teams, Oregon and Ohio State and Miami.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
Those are the 3 teams right now.
I really like Ole Miss. They're not there.
Ole Miss isn't quite there yet. Maybe they get there. Georgia's not there yet. Don't count out Kirby. Alabama's getting closer, but I don't see that they're at Ohio State. There's a lot of games to be played, but my concern is that there's going to be some teams that lose. And the reason I bring up all this stuff is while Florida has 3 losses, they only have 2 in the SEC. And I get it. Their schedule is brutal, but like A&M's gettable, man.
They are. I love that team, but they are.
I really like that team. I can't love them yet, but I really like them.
They're a fireworks show.
Mississippi State you can beat. Georgia is not perfect. Like,
no.
That's what I'm saying. So like if Florida goes on a run the way that Florida was playing last year, and there's 2 reasons that I'm really encouraged. 3. There's 3 reasons that I'm really encouraged with Florida, and then we can move on to the next game. The first you already touched on. This Dallas Wilson cat I had heard so much about. I don't watch high school recruiting tape. Look up his height and weight because he looks like he's 6'3", 220 already. And more importantly, he is a grown-ass man. Dallas Wilson is a grown-ass man, and I didn't even know to the level until I saw him catch the ball. He is my Saturday spotlight player, as you see right here if you're watching on YouTube, and we appreciate you doing so. 6 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Do you know Florida's had some pretty damn good wide receivers roll through Gainesville?
Yep.
Do you know it's the first time in 30 years, Mensch, that Florida has had a player debut with over 100 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns?
It's crazy.
30 years, man. 30 years. So think about all those guys, like the Gaffneys, the Travis Taylors, the Daryl Jacksons.
Yes.
He's the first one to just walk in to the swamp, throw his pads on, and be like, let's go. So when I say encouraging, there's 3 parts of it. He's one of them.
Yeah. He's listed at 6'3", 195. He's definitely over 200 pounds at this point. I think he was 6'3", 195.
Ain't nothing 195 about what I saw him doing to grown 20, 21-year-old men on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
He was shaking him. He looked like an NFL cat. He looked like what Jeremiah Smith looked like last year.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Every bit of it. Okay? So that's part 1. Part 2 is I've been screaming since week 1. Remember what I said? I said, why'd they give Baugh the ball 6 times?
Yes.
In the first drive, and then they gave him 12 times the rest of the game. This guy's different. Feed him, especially if your quarterback struggling. Jaden Baugh had 27 carries. It was only 107 yards. But you know what that did? That allowed them to possess the football. It allowed them to control drives. It allowed them to slow things down and keep Texas from getting in an offensive rhythm and getting the ball back. It kept them balanced, right? 27 carries is what this guy should be getting. So now all of a sudden we're showing commitment to the run game with Baugh. We've got a receiver on the outside who's actually, and I love Vernell Brown, right? The third.
He's awesome too, but yeah.
He's awesome, but he's a complementary piece. He's a slot. Okay. I need a big dude.
He's a slot.
Right. He's a slot, whether he's working same side or opposite side. I need an X. I need a Jeremiah Smith. And they got theirs. And then the third part is, we've said this all along, this might be the longest stretch. Do you know this? The longest stretch in which DJ Lagway has been taking first team reps and practicing with the football team.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're 6 weeks into the season, but it keeps getting a little bit better. And I know he's not but I'm saying, but now we got a weapon. Now we've got a back. The offensive
He's a
line's
downfield guy.
Good.
He's a downfield passer, and bringing in Dallas Wilson gives him that threat.
So I'm not going on like FanDuel right now and betting the futures on Florida and they're going to make a run and they're going to finish the season like they did last year and win all those games. But I am saying this is a team that might not be totally dead in the water. And this is a team that if they keep trending this way, you don't want to face. And
no, you don't.
And I said last week, at some point, this defense, if things don't go well early in this game, at some point, maybe it's this week or next week, at some point, this defense is going to just say, we've had enough. And it can't give 1,000% effort. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. And by the
way, Billy Napier does not get his teams prepared for the start of seasons. Billy Napier's got all the. Billy Napier can't do this. Billy Napier fired this. All that stuff. I'll tell you one thing that you can never ever say about this man: that his team gives up on, and that his
team
don't
quit.
No. So that was fun to watch. Hopefully
before
for the
we
folks
get off
down,
this game,
yeah, go ahead.
What were we gonna say?
Yeah, hopefully for the folks, I was just gonna say, hopefully for the folks down in Gainesville, that this will be another special ride, and hopefully the pressure will start reducing on Billy, and we can just focus on the football, because there's nothing better than the swamp. Tom Petty playing fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Used to be the lighters. Now it's the phones. Like there's nothing that, like,
And it's a
who
young
doesn't love
group,
when the swamp's involved? And it's still a young group. Yeah.
And you want to keep, like, in this day and age, you hope they can keep that roster together. You hope that Brown the third and Dallas Wilson are still playing together next year. And if Billy Napier's out, if he's not there, then it opens up I don't know. I hope that all these talented skill players at Florida aren't playing it for different teams. And we're talking about how awesome that 2026 team could have been for Florida, That being said, before we get off this game, I'm watching this and I'm immediately thinking Oklahoma, unless I'm crazy, is not going to get John Mateer back this week.
No.
And now you go against this Texas team. What do you think the spread is? What's the line in that game?
I know it. Don't look at our group chat right now.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by it.
Texas is -3.5.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not surprised, but I wonder if it was Mateer playing, I bet you it would be flipped.
Oh, I think it would be a higher number. It would be flipped and a higher number for Oklahoma.
But I just never. I've covered enough of these games. I see, like, you
don't know. You're right. You don't know.
The wounded animal is the side to bet on in this game, in this rivalry. The problem is, in very different weird ways. One's undefeated. One's got 2 losses. They're both kind of wounded animals.
Yeah,
coming in. So
I expect both defenses to.
No, next week's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
because we get that game. We get. Hey, by the way, we get Indiana, Oregon next week.
I know.
Like NFL scouts, I can't imagine how many NFL scouts are going to be at that game. It's at Oregon, right? It's at Oregon.
Yeah, it's at Oregon.
Oh, so maybe not as many as I was going to say in the center of the heart of America. So, but with Fernando Mendoza, I'm talking to some people, man. This is how it
starts.
I know.
This is how it starts.
I don't know.
It starts in October.
But I promise you this. I hope it's 2027. If it's 2026, then it's 2026 at your own risk, Dante Moore.
Yeah.
I don't see how he's not QB1.
Dante Moore, yeah.
And then you've got guys like Nussmeier. What is it the ab? Is something wrong? You get Klubnik dropping, Lenore Sellers. Like next week, it's who's South Carolina got next week? Let's go to week 7. They got a good game. Another quarterback matchup. Oh, LSU.
Nice.
So it's Nussmeier versus Sellers. That's like, for scouts, fascinating. College football fans, like, still fascinating. You want to see Sellers versus that LSU defense, and you want to see if what's going on with Nussmeier and that offense, and you want to see can LSU get back on track?
We got a week next week.
I know.
Ohio State, Illinois, and Alabama, Missouri are both the early slots.
But I'm not done with today. I'm not done with today. And we might be going till 4 a.m.
I'm a little concerned, but let's do it.
I know, but let's start going rapid pace. I don't want to get off of games without talking about, and I know I mentioned, and Jeff Lewis, my brother-in-law, who, by the way, is like kind of one of the only things you can ask for is when someone marries into the family and they're actually a force multiplier and they're not some negative drain. Jeff's the best, man.
Not to be weird about it, I was two things. One,
Jeff.
I was legitimately bummed he wasn't in Chicago because I thought he was coming.
Right.
And 2, I have never been. He was fine with it. We were literally having dinner in Manhattan Beach. Is that the name of it? What is it?
Yeah, Manhattan
Where were we
Beach.
staying? Yeah, we were
MH,
having dinner in Manhattan Beach. His flight left in a half an hour.
Oh my gosh.
40 minutes, and he walked out of the
about
restaurant.
this.
Got on the flight, just flew home, cool as a cucumber, no problem. I was like, dude.
And meanwhile, I feel like a traitor because my sister's sitting at home with the 2 girls, and I'm kind of like, come on, Jeff, just hang around. You know, I'm like Albie Schweitzer.
I think we all were.
Albie Schweitzer out in Manhattan Beach. We're having too much fun, but he made it home. He's a responsible father and husband. But they're at the game today, right? They're at the Cincinnati game. And while I love them dearly and I love everyone in my family, it's not why I'm really intrigued by this game. First of all, I want to give flowers, okay, to Muench, because this was Muench's pick of the week. Mine was Bama, right? No,
it was. You took Bama.
Yeah, Bama. So 2 for 2. What's up, FanDuel? Coming after you. But this game, there's two things with this game. First of all, the NFL prospects that I think people are sleeping on in Cincinnati. But second of all, and more importantly, this game, like, it was really cool to watch because I know the history of this place in Nippert Stadium, okay? And with that in mind, all right, deal with it. Get excited about it because we keep the lights on. And part of the wonderful reason we keep the lights on here and we are fueled and we are growing is that our new friends and sponsorship and partners are Home Depot. And like, we're doing this thing every single week and I love it. And they're a major sponsor for our show now and we couldn't appreciate them anymore. So it's time to get into a special segment of the show called the Home Field Advantage, brought to you by our friends at the Home Depot. The place to go. Build your dream game day setup on your own home field, whether it's tailgate, in the backyard, your living room, wherever it is. And I've riffed about my home, which, by the way, is 73 years old, right? The guts of it are the first floor, and they built up for now and all that stuff. And I come in and I've got some stuff to do. I told you I built the outdoor shower and the pea gravel we're rolling in, and we get the patio that we're working on that people think I'm drinking Sixers on, but I'm actually not. We got the grill outside. I've got a Traeger grill. Like, and how am I doing all this stuff? Because I'm like a Renaissance man. I lived in the city. I had people, with the homeowners association. So I didn't get into all this stuff, but now now it's not an apartment. Now it's a home. Now it's like a family home. And now I got to dive in. Right. But I got the 73-year-old home and there's some stuff that you got to work on. And so now all of a sudden, and I live in a coastal town. It's 23 minutes before you get on the highway anyway. So I need help. And I get the Home Depot and they're bringing stuff. I told you the heater they brought last time. They brought all the stuff to help build that outside. So I understand what it's like to renovate, but also to take care of something old. So now you go to the Bearcats in Cincinnati, Ohio, where half my family lives. And so I kind of know more of the backdrop on that stadium than I should. And then Tucker and I are doing some research. Tucker's a great research assistant. His tutor's Peyton, who tutored all those UCLA athletes, and now she's tutoring him, and he's learning. And so we're growing together, right? And so now I'm talking about Nippert Stadium and kind of my backstories and knowing the history of it, and he's adding some stuff. And now all of a sudden I've realized this stadium is the third oldest NCAA FBS stadium out there, okay? James Gamble Nippert would be so damn proud.
I had no idea.
I know, Nippert Stadium, 1915. So my family and the people in that area are really proud of this place. And the reason I knew is because 2015, I was there for a game. And I forget the match, but it was Cincinnati. It was a big game, actually. And Tuberville was the head coach. And I'm there, and they're all proud about it. And an $85 million renovation. And they take this beautiful place. It's kind of like a Fenway Park to them, right? And they're making the old and restoring it. It's a restoration project, and they're building it up. And so then this year they do some more updates, the ribbon boards and the concessions. All of that said, this is kind of a place that people in that area love, and they're proud of how they rebuilt it, and it fits in perfectly with the Home Depot. And so what does that matter to today, Todd? Would you shut up about all this renovation stuff? No, I won't. Because when you see a place like this that's been renovated and restored, and all of a sudden you see big win. You get 14 in the country, Iowa State coming in. Cincinnati's kind of overlooked. Luke Fickell left them. Tuberville left them before that. They come and they go. And now you've got this 14th team in the country, and the Bearcats got one loss, and people were like, are they any good? And it all kind of comes full circle, and they have the 14th team in the country, and they whack them. They came out, I think it was 30-something, nothing off the jump. Now, granted, they had to battle for 4 quarters and kind of hang in there at the end. But to me, this was like a home field, everything that's amazing about it, right?
Yeah.
And so let me transition back. Those stadiums, a stadium like this definitely gives the Bearcats an advantage. It's someplace that they're proud of, and they put a lot of money into making it the old but the new, right? So
Yeah.
they give their team a serious edge, and you can create your home field advantage just like you had with the Bearcats today. Whether you're tailgating at the stadium or watching from your backyard or your living room, the Home Depot has everything that you need. Game day setup that brings the energy, from the grills to the smokers, from the top brands like Traeger and Nextgrill and Weber to fire pits to and smart lighting, speakers, outdoor TVs, everything that just make it special, right? This is the part that's critical. Fast, free delivery, man. Over 2 million online items delivered free to your door, subject to availability. See homedepot.com for details. The Home Depot, how doers get more done, right? Now, Bearcats. It wasn't just about environment. It was huge in it. I think this team is being slept on, man. Because
Yeah.
I look at our scouting ranks, and I look at some of the preseason national and Bledsoe stuff, and I start to put things together. And I'm watching this guy Brandon Sorsby, who you kind of like too. We talked about him a little bit on the phone today. 4th-year junior, 2nd year at Cincy at quarterback. Coming into today, I haven't added the numbers up. Excuse me. 70%, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Throwing the ball around, making some plays, moving around. Joe Royer's been nicked up, but he's a talent. He's the highest graded of all of these guys. If you ask, if you polled NFL teams, okay?
The tight end,
6'4.5", 252 pounds, runs 4.7 or sub. Okay. Then you got Tawee Washington out there, who's not even their number 1 back, but he's bulldozing guys, and we showed that clip. Dante Corleone, who's Tucker's favorite name in
the Godfather.
All of college football. Absolute low. Did you see some of those short yardage things? Corleone in there. Oh,
I really like him. I thought he had a chance. I think he got hurt last year. He might have come out.
And then Jake Galday, 6'4", 237, runs a 4.6. Linebacker, edge, kind of perfect, versatile, hybrid frame, fast, athletic, and he's playing up to the level this year. I'm telling you, he's going to rise too. So we're talking about some guys for Cincinnati. It was fun to watch today.
Yeah. I mean, they made it interesting in the second half, but when it mattered most, Sorsby threw that 82-yard touchdown pass that was right on the money. He's not quite as sharp today, 13 out of 25. But he really has been. But he had two touchdowns, no interceptions. He ran for 64 yards. He has been on a tear really since the second half of the Nebraska game. If you go back and watch that game, he really put the fear of God in Nebraska in that second half. He's an interesting player, man, because you look at the mobility, you look at the arm strength, you look at the kind of year he's having. That Cincinnati team's pretty good. I felt good about it going in. I felt great about it going into halftime, and then I got real nervous in the second half. Because listen, Rocco Becht, say what you want, man. Tough dude. He had there was a targeting call where the Cincinnati player got ejected, and Rocco Becht is in the tent. I was like, he's got to be done for the day. Comes back out, plays the rest of the game. I mean, that Iowa State team is tough. They're well coached, and they made some mistakes today, which were not like them, but they're tough. They're well coached, and Becht, finds a way to keep his team in it.
I just love how no one listens. No one's watching or listening at this point, and that's totally fine too. But they're having a full-on fight about Nussmeier versus CJ Carr. Joseph Rawling is losing his mind. I think it's hysterical. I guess when I start doing an ad read, people just like, all right, we don't need Todd and Steve. We're gonna get into
great ad read. Great ad read.
Thanks, man. I felt good about it.
Yep, real progress. But Joseph Rawlings into it. He gets it. Becht is awesome.
No, he does.
Always trade back.
I had Cole Marie confused. She was. Is this all one big ad read? Or are we doing what? All right, I want to get some.
She's awesome, by the way. She's always listening, always reaching out. Cole Marie.
No, I know she's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was a female.
Oh, really?
Marissa told me it's a female because I was like,
we
were going through who are our consistents. It's Haas. It's
always trade back. Cole Marie.
Always trade back. No, Blink. I was looking up the number. Blink 12689. Blink. Can you change your name or give us like your something so I don't have to call you Blink? But I appreciate you being here all the time. Joseph Rawlings here. But then Cole Marie. We were talking about Cole Marie, and she's like, Cole's a woman. She's like the smartest person on the chat
by far.
And she like would dug a little bit. Oh, she knows like all sports. She's like, she's amazing. All right. So anyway, I want to go through some really quick hitters. Jump me if you need to. Don't need to get into any analysis on this, but things that just quickly jumped out. I told you about Mississippi State, Texas A&M. The Aggies, like I get that. Remember you talked about like 1 foot on, but not both. I can't quite put that second foot on in terms of being all in. And it's because of Marcel Reed. Here's the thing. It's because of the penalties, 125th in penalties in the country. And today, again, problem. They let Mississippi State hang around. They had a touch, including a kickoff return or a kick return for touchdown. I forget it was a punt or kick that was brought back due to a penalty. Marcel Reed is so athletic and makes so many special plays, and he delivers a lot in like clutch situations and all that stuff. I've watched enough now to know this guy, this young man, there's a habit that has to be broken, and that is like this. You know how I told you about the Brian Kelly, Jaden Daniels, just let it rip, like rip it.
Yeah.
Just rip it. I feel like there's some times where he's not with like totally trust my eyes, just rip it. And it's like, should I? If he can get rid of that indecisive before he decides to go, it's that one quick, if you really watch him, it's this one like, and then by doing that sometimes, then he gets himself in real trouble because it's like, I'm putting my hand in the cookie jar. I think I want that cookie. Yeah, I'm going to go do it. And all of a sudden it closes on him. So now all of a sudden there's a defender and now his feet are here. And then in that like quarter count, he will make a bad decision and throw from a horrible base and body position or with a guy underneath him, or the defenders had a quarter count to react. That is a trend that has not gone away. And that is his next step in development. And until he does that, I think A&M is a damn good football team and better than a year ago. But I don't know that we will be talking about him this year unless he rectifies that and they find a way as a coaching staff to like that. Go. Trust it, go. Or don't. But don't live in this little purgatory that you've been living in, right?
I hear you.
I can't put them at Ohio State, Oregon,
No.
Miami. You know what I mean? I just but
they're
5-0 now, Mensch.
They might be the most dangerous team in America.
They beat Notre Dame. We're about to do the AP top 12, and like you're gonna probably make an argument that belong in the top 12. So they have a team that might be.
Oh, they're in the top 12.
Right. So we'll get to that in a minute. Another thing I wanted to touch on: Ohio State over Minnesota. I watched very little of that game, and the outcome of it served backed me up for why I didn't. But I did check in a couple times, and then I did see a couple. I've been waiting for Carnell Tate to have this game, and I'm excited about it. And I'm excited to go back and watch the tape and how he did it. But he, like 2.5 quarters in, he had 8 catches, 179 yards, and a touchdown. Okay, that's awesome to see. And Jeremiah Smith, he didn't have a huge night, but he had another like 6 or 7 catches. So this is an offense that has been protecting the quarterback, been conservative. I know it's Minnesota and all the things, but it was good to see them kind of let it rip a little bit.
Two things.
Go ahead. Sorry.
2 things. Bo Jackson got the most carries tonight. It looks like it's trending where he'll be the primary back, as you called. And then Max Clare, the tight end, who I really liked coming into the season, had 5 for 63. So it looks like he's starting to carve out a role.
Which also
that Ohio State team just keeps making steps, man. I mean, even as they're like, there's also with the story within the story is, oh, we're also developing this part of our game and finding a role for this player that we brought in. Ryan Day's a damn good coach. I mean, he's a damn good coach.
Michigan is not on the level of Ohio State.
No.
It's just fun to say because I can already hear the whole state of Ann Arbor just losing its mind. But Michigan is not on the talent level of Ohio State. But Michigan, similar to Ohio State, I'm also seeing some progression in areas that I've needed to see progression. Today, that Wisconsin defense is pretty good. It hasn't been all the time. They've had a lot of injuries, all that stuff, both sides. But I saw a couple things that were really promising today, and it wasn't even Underwood. It was still the ups, the downs, all that stuff. But he was good today. But there are 2 guys Three guys. First of all, we just know what one of them is. Justice Haynes keeps doing it. And I mentioned it before. 5 games, five straight games, 100+ yards. Been big run get for them this year. And I don't see that changing, his role. The 2 guys receivers. State was kind of lurking around. They've been dropped to 13 in the AP, which I was pleased about. But they're now AP, which I was pleased about. But they're now out of the conversation. We don't have to deal with them. So teams that were in like the top 13 to 16 coming in that are completely out of the conversation: Texas, Penn State, Iowa State, Vanderbilt, at least for now in the foreseeable future. Okay. Ohio State's an obvious. These are my rankings 1 through 10, and then I'm going to give you the other teams. I'm going to give you my 1 through 10. You tell me if you have any problems, and then I'm going to give you. I've got 5 other teams that I would consider for the 11th and 12th spots, and I want to get your take on it. 1 Ohio State, 2 Oregon, 3 Miami, 4 Ole Miss. Non-negotiable, locked in stone heading into next week. 5 through 10 is like this next bracket for me. It's Oklahoma, it's A&M, it's Alabama, it's Indiana, it's Texas Tech, and it's Georgia. So Oklahoma at 5, A&M at 6, Bama at 7, Indiana at 8, Texas Tech at 9, and Georgia at 10.
Okay.
I'm going to now give you. Do you have any major problems with 5 through 10?
No major problems. I don't know at this point how you don't have Miami 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3. I think Ohio State might be the best team in the country. I no disrespect to Ohio State. Miami's resume is good enough to put them 1 now.
Okay. I could live with that. But I'm not. It's my poll, and I'm not doing it.
That's fine. Yeah, I would expect nothing less from you.
Ohio State's the best team in the country. In
the land.
Now this is where I want to talk to you, and I actually will take. Like if you just kind of stick with the AP poll, and they're like, well, they didn't play this week, and so how can we move anyone up and down? LSU would be 11 and Tennessee would be 12. And quite frankly, I'm not fighting it totally, but I could also sit here and make an argument Michigan should be at 11 or Notre Dame should be at 11 and the other one at 12. And there will be people out there who scream about Missouri and scream about Georgia Tech.
That'll get sorted out. That'll get sorted out.
But exactly. So I'm really down to 4 teams: Michigan, Notre Dame, LSU, and Tennessee. Do you have any? And I know Notre Dame is resume says Tennessee.
Yep. I think it's LSU and Tennessee right now. But I hear you. Michigan and Notre Dame are
coming. They're coming.
Yeah.
All right. This is a fun show. And I apologize to anyone who was watching it live with us. There were some moments of glitching and all that stuff, but life goes on. But we appreciate you being here, and hopefully, if you want to go back and watch the James Franklin stuff, go back and watch it. I'm sure Tucker will have it all sorted out for the show that's going to go live in about 5 minutes from now, and we'll be running in perpetuity. And I'm sure I'll hear about that, but it won't be as crazy as it was with Feinbaum last week. Okay, Muench, back Monday morning. You got anything last to say to anyone else? Anyone you want to?
No, excited to get into always Sunday. It's always eye-opening because it's like you think you see things and then you go back and you watch the tape and you get a better feel. And sometimes you're right, and sometimes you realize it was something else.
And there's no one on this chat who's smarter than Caden Arcater, who says Todd asked for Muench's take just to say no thanks. 5 stars, Muench. 5 stars.
Awesome.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.